And got back to his feet quickly, though. Done top rope, up over the top of Penta. Penta now! Mexican destroy!
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest, and
acknowledge us.
Hey, guys, we're here at the Red Carpet Reign. We'll talk about WWE Raw, Seth Rollins and Roxanne Perez. They get the final spots in Elimination Chamber, qualifying matches up for Elimination Chamber. Let's get the lights as we come into the ring. We are going to talk about WWE Raw, the recent episode. We're going to talk about what went right, what went wrong, and then we'll also go on to who's winning the Elimination Chamber matches for men's and women's. But let's go on to the match card. Let's look over that first. So this is the match card here. We got Seth Rollins versus Finn Bálor in the main event for qualifying match for the Chamber. Roxanne Perez versus Raquel Rodriguez. We got Penta versus Pete Dunne. Sami Zayn speaks. We have a number 1 contenders match for the women's Intercontinental Championship match. Championship. This number 1 contendership match is Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile. We got the women's tag team champions Bianca Belair and Naomi, and then we have AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio 1-on-1, first time ever. So let's move on to the first segment of the match. Sami Zayn, he cut a promo here. Zayn, he came out, he responded to what Kevin Owens said on SmackDown when he was in a car, saying that Kevin Owens don't feel good. He said he don't care how Sami Zayn, if he's not cleared or not. He wanted to have a match against him, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens Elimination Chamber. And, Sami Zayn came out. He said, him and Kevin Owens been doing the same song and dance for years. What he did say that the Elimination Chamber, that match will be in Toronto. That's the same town where Sami Zayn was turned on by Kevin Owens when he turned on Sami Zayn when he won the NXT Championship back at TakeOver back in 2015. So it's pretty much long storytelling. But he said, you know what? He want the match. Adam Pearce came out saying, Sami Zayn, I can't give you that. I can't give you that match because you're not cleared. Sami Zayn was not trying to hear that at all. Not trying to hear that. He wasn't trying to hear that at all. And Sami Zayn still wanted the match. He said, give me the match. I want the match no matter what. No matter what's going on, I want the match. And Adam Pearce said, you know what? I'm thinking about your safety. I'm thinking about your career. Whatever Kevin Owens do to you, I can't stop it. No one can stop it. But Sami Zayn said, whatever I do to Kevin Owens, you can't stop either. So Sami Zayn still wants the match. Adam Pearce said it will be at Elimination Chamber. And he says not official because it's pretty much an unsanctioned match. So that was the first part of the whole show. Now that kicked off Raw. Let's get on to the first match of the show. All right, we got here first time ever AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio. Nothing too much to talk about here. AJ Styles defeated Dominic Mysterio. He tried to use Carlito to cheat. Carlito has stopped AJ Styles from going to the top rope, hit the phenomenal forearm. AJ Styles got to Dominic and Carlito, and AJ Styles defeated Dominic Mysterio. Now afterwards, we saw Braun Breaker come out from the stands. He was going to spear AJ. AJ jumped on his feet, thought real quick. He jumped out the way. He speared Dominic Mysterio. And then next thing you know, AJ Styles, he saw that, and Braun Breaker got out the ring, and he grabbed his title. So we are definitely going to get a future match between AJ Styles and Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship, a title that AJ Styles previously held before. So that was the first match of the night. Not the best match to start off the show, but let's move on to the next one. All right, we have the Women's Intercontinental Championship title #1 contender match. Whoever wins this match goes to face Lyra Valkyria, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, who was also at ringside. This was not a bad match. Dakota, she's looking good. Ivy now. It was a good match between both these women. They kept up the pace, kept up the tempo, fed off each other. But at the end of the day, Dakota Kai will go on and win the match. And it will set up a rematch between Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria. Dakota Kai was the, they're going to get Dakota Kai versus Lyra Valkyria. Let's go on to the next part of the show. Now, we had Gunther. He came out trolling. It was funny. He was making fun of Jey Uso, making fun of his fans. He even told them, it smells bad in here. It stinks in here. It reeks of Jey Uso. Little boy bumped into him. He said, watch where you're going. You know what's going to happen next if you don't get out my way. Then he said, you fans don't understand. He said in his words, and I quote, it's like talking Shakespeare to a dog. Pure savage on Gunther's part. He really was funny with it. I mean, he really went in. It was so good. I gotta give you for that.
Yeet.
Now when he did say that, Gunther, he went in and he just couldn't help himself. Gunther always been good on the mic. Jey Uso came out, he was blocked by officials, and Gunther and Jey Uso just went at it. Gunther tried to put the sleep on Jey. Jey backed out of it. But this was good. This is going to sell for the WrestleMania 41 match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion, will be defending the title against challenger and Royal Rumble winner Jey Uso. Let's get to the next part of the show. All right, next part of the show, we got Penta versus Pete Dunne one-on-one. Penta, he's been nothing but pure amazing every time he gets to the ring. And Pete Dunne had a very good back and forth. Pete Dunne, used the finger snap like he always trying to break fingers. Penta, he's so smooth in the ring. Great story. During the middle of the match, the turning point was Kaiser. He came out to look at Pete Dunne and Penta. He looked at Penta. Pete Dunne said, "Get out of my business. Stay out of it." That's how Penta was allowed to score the pinfall over Pete Dunne. Afterwards, Penta, celebrating the victory. He was attacked by Kaiser. Kaiser and Pete Dunne also was getting to it. So expect a triple threat match between these three men. And I believe somewhere down the line they will eventually challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. But this was a very good match. Let's get on to later on the match. Let's see what else happened. We do have here the New Day. They came out, cut a promo. They talked about what they did to Rey Mysterio. They also talked about how they took him down. Big E, they still mentioned what they had to do to Big E. Said he wouldn't sit on his desk. Kofi said, so what? They came out to Rey Mysterio. Then we know LWO came out. Dragon Lee and Cruz and Del Toro. All them came out. They brawled. But we going to see basically New Day versus LWO. Just two New Day members. I don't get it. Wasn't really into the promo that much. Same old thing, but we'll talk more about it. Let's get on to elimination. Let's get on to the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. For the women's, we had Roxanne Perez in her first ever qualifying match for Elimination Chamber versus Raquel Rodriguez. This was another great match. This was a great match with Roxanne and Raquel. Big woman versus smaller woman. They worked very well off each other. Roxanne was countering Raquel's moves. Raquel had the power and strength over Roxanne. Now, we know that Liv Morgan was outside to show support for Raquel Rodriguez because Liv Morgan's already in the chamber. And later on, we saw Bianca and we saw Naomi came out. They came chase Liv down. Raquel saw that. But it allowed Roxanne to get the pinfall with the pop rocks over Raquel Rodriguez. And Roxanne Perez will qualify for the chamber match. She is the last one to enter the Women's Elimination Chamber match to qualify for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. Whoever wins that, and we'll talk more about that as well. But we got to look over that match of Penta versus P. Dunne. Good moment there.
And got back to his feet quickly though. Dunne top rope up over the top of Penta. Penta now! Mexican.
But good match though. Good match. They putting that work for real. And P. Dunne definitely putting the work as well. But let's get on to the main event. Now, the main event we know was Seth Rollins versus Finn Bálor qualifying match. Seth Rollins, he was getting irritated with the referee because he didn't get the near fall. He did the suck it chant, and he also, was talking to him. Finn Bálor got some near falls. He hit the coup de grace, near fall. Also, Finn Bálor hit the pedigree on Seth. Seth, he tried for curb stomp multiple times. He did not get it through. Finn countered it. And also, Seth countered some stuff on Finn. So the good move is, I know Seth got the Falcon Arrow. He was able to get, I believe he's able to get that off the rope. But other than that, we did see a sling blade from Finn Bálor. And then also, too, as a roll-up, Finn Bálor had Seth in a submission hold. And then Seth rolled up. They got the near falls on each other on the roll-up. Then Seth got out of it. He did a quick stomp, 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins qualifies for the Elimination Chamber. He will be the last man to enter the chamber match. So we already got plenty of men in there, but Seth fills that void. So Seth will be the last man in that chamber match, alongside Punk, Cena, Drew, Logan, and Damian, as well as the women's. Roxanne fills it up with herself, Bayley, Naomi, Bianca, Liv, and Alexa. So that was the end of Monday Night Raw. But, if you guys remember, this is everything that happened on Monday Night Raw for the show, everything that went down. So this is everything. That's the whole thing, review of the show. But let's go over the rating. I will say Raw, the segments were great with Sami Zayn, except New Day, but Sami Zayn's segment was great. And there was some other moments there. But as a whole, what will I rate the show? 3.5 out of 5. It was an average show. It wasn't the worst show, wasn't the best show. It was right in between. So you guys let me know what you think of that. Check the community tab on Red Carpet Ring. See what you can vote there or comment as well. But let's go over. We got to talk about what went right and what went wrong with the show. We got to talk about it. Now, we're going to go over what went wrong with Monday Night Raw. What were the issues that I saw? Again, matches as a whole were average. They could have been a little bit better. But, we are getting ready for Elimination Chamber. But, that's how I see it. I didn't like that at all.
What's going to happen? No. Words? You just made the list.
So that's what I saw for that one. So that's the first thing I saw wrong with the show. Now, let's go over the second thing I saw wrong with Raw. Next thing here.
And got back to his feet quickly though. Dunne top rope up over the top of.
Yes, Seth versus Finn is just irritating. And I do not want to keep seeing match after match after match. They're doing these pedigrees. They're doing everything. I thought this was too much. And if I didn't say this before, I'm going to say it again. No more of this match of Seth versus Finn Bálor. No more of it. Is just redundant. And it's really gotten on my nerves at this point. If I said before, I'm going to say it again. Too much.
Words? You just made the list.
Yes, indeed, they made that list. Um, enough. All right, that's everything for what went wrong with Raw. Let's move on to what went right. You know what? One more thing I am going to add. If I ain't talking this, thing we talk about too. The New Day promos get repetitive. Like I said, they're doing the same old stuff. I'm tired of seeing it. If I ain't saying it before, I'm gonna say it again. It just really needs to be touched on. Really get these guys a feud, get them something going. Because we see New Day doing promos like this every single week, time and time and time again. Is just gonna make this new heel turn of the New Day stale. It's gonna make it very almost we want to make it forgettable at this point that they even turned heel, because we know that they really was safe to say that it was just improvising of how they was going to do this heel turn when they turned on Big E, and there's been no big payoff for that, so that is not a good thing.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So they definitely something that needs to be done better. But like I said, now we're done with the whole what went wrong with Raw. Let's move on to actually what we're right with the Monday Night Raw show for this week. A couple things that did go right for this episode. We'll talk about it. One thing I do want to talk about first, that this is still going well with the whole Lyra and Dakota Kai. Now, I know that we've seen this match, for the tournament, but the fact that they're going to championship is going to be great. So they're finally getting focused on the women's intercontinental championship scene. I think that's a great thing, and it builds story because we know these two faced off before. So we're glad that they're getting attention, as well as the men's Intercontinental Championship too. So this is a good thing. I'm glad that they're finally moving in direction with this title, because Lyra would just walk around this title for weeks and weeks and weeks and never defend this belt. See how they match going to do next week on Monday Night Raw. So that is a plus for me.
Yeet.
All right, so that's one thing I did see. One of the things I saw that I liked on Raw. Another thing we're going to talk about, Roxanne Perez. She is officially in the Women's Elimination Chamber match, and she's going to get her first Chamber qualified match win over Raquel. This puts her in the Chamber. She will be alongside 5 other women in this matchup. So this is a good thing. I want to see how Roxanne Perez is going to do in the Elimination Chamber match. I want to see how she's going to do, how she's going to perform. And who knows, she may even duplicate some of her Royal Rumble success of being an Iron Woman onto the Elimination Chamber. But very good. I thought Raquel was going to win because she's, they always have a big woman or a big tall person in the match, men and women, but this is good. I'm glad that WWE is doing booking for the right reason. So this is a plus for me.
Yeet.
Let's go over a couple more things that were good on this episode of Raw that I noticed. Speaking of another Intercontinental Championship, the men's side, Braun Breaker, AJ Styles, they are going to have an interesting feud. I cannot wait. Cannot wait to see. Braun Breaker, he see AJ as a threat. He tried to sneak up on him. AJ got one up on him. He ducked, spared Dominic instead of AJ. I think it's going to be good. And AJ, as the veteran that he is, as he's in the twilight of his career, he's wanted down, putting over a young Braun Breaker, who's in his second Intercontinental Championship run at 27 years old Braun is. This is a good look for the Intercontinental Championship title picture.
Yeet.
So this is a good thing for Braun and AJ. So I can't wait to, similar to the Women's Intercontinental Championship run, Can't wait to see what the next feud is going to be. So this is a very good thing of what's going on in WWE today. This is very good. Only time will tell what's going to happen next as far as that goes. But other than that, I think I definitely see things being bright. Very, very bright for to see what next is going to go on. With Braun and AJ, definitely going to be. Could definitely see a good thing going on. So we have to see how they're going to play that out and what things going to take next. But with that being said, you guys let me know what you think of Braun versus AJ for the Intercontinental Championship. Because I definitely see some good things happening between both of these men. Definitely a good thing. All right. Well, next thing. Let's go over the next thing before we do get to the bonus round. Let's get on to the next thing for what's going to happen on the show. We're going to go over current news in a second. And then we'll head off to the bonus round. So let's see the next thing going to happen. And we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, this is we are definitely on the road to WrestleMania 41 like no other. Definitely on the road to WrestleMania 41. And it's gonna be here before sooner than you think. Because we know Elimination Chamber is going to be the last PLE, major PLE of the main roster before WrestleMania. So let's get on to it. And that's all for what went right with Raw. Now, there's been some current news going on in the wrestling world today. And it's not surprising. It's actually more expected of the news that's going to occur. So I think this would be a good matchup. Only if how they're going to play this out. But we know it's going to be a good thing at the end of the day. And what I'm talking about is there's current news going on in the wrestling world, or planned or rumored, I should say. And it's supposed to be Jacob Fatu versus Solo for WrestleMania 41. They are planning to have a one-on-one match, according to WrestleVotes, Solo versus Jacob Fatu. You know, there's been tension between these two since Solo lost to Ula Falah. He pretty much abandoned Jacob in Tama Tonga. And Solo just returned 2 weeks ago. And again, last week, Jacob confronted him. You know, Solo tells Jacob, I love you on SmackDown. There's definitely tension between these two men. And it's gonna come to his head at some point. And it's gonna be a WrestleMania 41. You guys let me know, what do you think of that? Now let's head on to the bonus round. And we're going to talk about the Elimination Chamber. All right, bonus round here. We're going to talk about two things. Who will win the men's and women's Elimination Chamber matches? Now, we know that both the women's and men's matches are set. We know that all 6 people for both men's and women's have been official. Everybody qualified. Seth being the last to qualify for the men's, Roxanne the last to qualify for the women's. And this is after the episode with WWE Raw. Seth Rollins and Roxanne Perez win the final Elimination Chamber spots. Now, the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to go over not only who's going to win, I'm going to go over who are the first 2 to enter the chamber, the first elimination, and the Iron Man or Iron Woman / MVP of the Elimination Chamber. So let's go over the men's first. I will say this before we get to who I think is going to win. Spoke about this before. Some of you guys already know who my pick is. But let's go over the first in the chamber, first 2 in the chamber. I'm predicting to kick off this Elimination Chamber for the men's. The first two to enter the chamber will be Seth Rollins and Damian Priest. Due to entrance theme, Seth Rollins got a good entrance theme. They bring the tempo of the chamber. Damian Priest will be in there for the big man. It could be the first two to kick it off. Seth will have a long entrance with the sing along. Damian Priest will be in there, get his feet wet in the chamber. So I think that'd be a good way to kick this off. So those two I see bringing the fire to the chamber, kicking it off. And maybe, you have Cena and Punk will be the last two, then Logan will be the fourth, and maybe Drew the third. But that's just, a prediction there. Educated guess, I should say. Now, for my first elimination inside the chamber, the first person to get pinned or submitted, Damian Priest. If you think about all 6 men in the chamber, Damian is the least to win this. I mean, CM Punk, good chance for the going for the WWE title. Cena, of course, it's his last farewell tour, 17 title. Drew already had interaction with Cody. Seth already said that he wants to go for the WWE title. Logan and Damian are the least to go for this title. And Logan, he already faced Cody Rhodes last year at at Clash at the Castle, I believe. He already faced Cody for a WWE title last year, or other PLE it was. But Damian is the least to win at anything out of it. He has the least to gain. So I expect him to be eliminated first. Now, for the Iron Man or the MVP for the Chamber, Logan Paul. Logan Paul, we know he has very good moments in WWE. He had the spot with Ricochet, 2 years ago at the Royal Rumble. He's a good high flyer. He can move whether you like Logan or not. He has some very good moments. He is a high flyer, very good one. He definitely can do something very, very unforgettable spot in the Elimination Chamber. He got something that we'll talk about, something that the fans will remember. Something that the fans will remember, and it'll be in their mind to think about whatever spot he does. So I got Logan Paul for that. Now, of course, my prediction to win the whole Elimination Chamber for the men's, no other than John Cena. John Cena's chasing the 17th title. Last Elimination Chamber match for him. He's on limited dates. He got the tour right now. It's either now or never for John Cena. He will go on to face Cody. Now, I don't expect him to win at WrestleMania, but it'll be a good chase for the title. Good way to chase the 17th title. And it'll be the same title that John Cena's held 13 times. He held the WWE Championship more times than anybody in history. Him and Cody would be a great match for WrestleMania 41. Now that we know that reportedly The Rock is out of the picture for WrestleMania. And Logan and Roman Reigns will not be challenging Cody. Look, come on, let's be serious. But that's my predictions for who entered the chambers first elimination, MVP, Iron Man, and who wins the whole chamber. Let's move on to the women's elimination chamber. Now here, same as the men, same format. Who's the first two to enter the chamber? First elimination, Iron Woman or MVP, and who wins it all. I will say out of 6 women, this is a very good chamber matchup for these women. It's very, unique. If you notice, there's no big woman in this match. No tall, big woman. You'll see a someone like Raquel or someone like maybe a Charlotte Flair-esque type, a tall. But other than that, the first two I see entering the women's chamber, Alexa Bliss and Naomi. Naomi, she's known to enter the women's elimination chamber first, second, or third. And I know last year, Elimination Chamber 2024 in Perth, she was actually the first woman eliminated. Alexa Bliss, the fans are still in awe of her returning. I think that dark character will bring something good with the intro to the chamber. For the first eliminations for the women's elimination chamber will be Naomi. Sorry, Naomi. It'll be just like last year. Naomi did not go far in the women's elimination chamber last year. She was the first one eliminated. I think the same thing will happen again. She'll be good to kick off the chamber, but she won't be in there long. And Naomi has she really has no reason to go after the Women's World Championship, for Rhea's title on Raw. So I don't expect her to. She'll be the first one out of there. Alexa could be a shocker, but more like I think Naomi. Now the Iron Woman and MVP of the match, I would say Alexa or Roxanne. It's one of those two. Roxanne had a great Royal Rumble. Being a runner to Charlotte Flair, who won the Women's Royal Rumble. Alexa Bliss, she actually competed in the first Women's Elimination Chamber and won and retained her then Raw Women's Championship, which is now known as the WWE Women's Championship. So Alexa Bliss got some good moments. I can see her duplicating that again. First Elimination Chamber back since she returned to WWE. So that's who I have in mind. Now, who do I have winning the Women's Elimination Chamber as a whole? It was a tough one. It came down to Bianca Belair or Bayley out of all these 6 women. I got Bayley. Bayley and Rhea Ripley. It's like they got a score to settle, Bayley just got to Monday Night Raw. She just got there. I know she was feuding with Roxanne Perez and all that stuff there too. I understand that as well. But I will see her getting the clear advantage over Bianca to win. For some reason, I just don't see Bianca winning this one because Bianca, she's currently a women's tag team champion. She's currently the women's tag team champion. We have to keep that in mind. And we know that Bianca and Naomi, they kind of ruffle some feathers with Liv and Raquel. And they got this whole Jade Cargill storyline who attacked. They're still trying to find out, answers of why Raquel and Liv was at the scene. And they're still going through that as we saw demonstrating this episode of Raw. But I do not see Bianca winning. She has a lot going on, and I think it'll distract her from winning. If it weren't for that, I probably would put her ahead of Bayley. It could very well be the case there. You just never know sometimes. So we gotta remember that it was a lot of tension on Monday Night Raw. A lot of tension there. We saw that Bianca was not playing around with Liv. We saw that. They was ready to bring it on as they had those costumes on. So we definitely see that. But the thing about it is, when it comes down to it, Bianca has too much going on. And it will make sense to give it to Bayley. Look how she stared at the Women's World Championship with Rhea Ripley. That right there gives me a reason that she wants that title. And Bayley, we know Bayley, once she set her mind stuff, she'll do it. Not to say Bianca don't. Bayley's focused, 100% she's focused. And Roxanne and Alexa's not going to win. Liv, the same boat with Naomi and Bianca. Liv, Naomi, and Bianca, they all in that tag team title, Jade Cargill story. Those 3 you could take out. Alexa just came back. I would say no. It will come down to Bayley. Bayley makes sense. So I see Bayley. She's going to chase Rhea, go after the title. And I see her win the Chamber. She will win the Chamber and go to WrestleMania 41. And she's a member of Raw now. Other than that, I have Bayley winning that. And that's all I have for who's going to win the men's and women's Elimination Chamber matches. You guys let me know what you think. Who you got for the men's? Who you got for the women's? Who comes in first? Who's eliminated first? All of that. And also notate too, the last person to be eliminated before the winners, CM Punk for the men's before John Cena wins. And for the women's, I would say Bianca Belair gets pinned. Or Roxanne. No, Roxanne already was runner-up. Roxanne, Bianca or Liv will be the runner-up. Will be last eliminated before the winner for Elimination Chamber. But that's all I have, guys. You guys let me know what you think. Soon to videos will pop up, guys. You guys click the links below. Until then, you guys, you already know what it is. It's OU.
something happened this weekend, and I have been struggling with it since I retired, but this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and be